my channel. My name's Angela and this is Devon Thread Tales. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to do my 1 week Me Made October. So if any of you watched my last video, thank you so much first of all for everybody that commented on it and liked it. That was ever so kind of you. I haven't had a chance to reply to everybody yet, but I am going to start slowly making my way through those. But I have read every single comment and so many people were really kind about the fact that I just wanted to take a little break. So I'm not gonna say that I'm back and doing videos full on for a moment, but I just thought I have a bit of an opportunity here to maybe share some really nice things with you, because today I am going away on a trip to London with Helen from Stitch Rip Repeat, and we're going to the Stitch Festival, which is in Alexandra Palace. So I thought, what better day to start my 1 week Me Made May than this week. So I'm a little bit gutted because I kind of wish that I'd started it last week, because last week I went away and saw Karen from So Little Time and we went to the Dressmakers ball, and I kind of thought afterwards, oh, that's a bit of a shame that I didn't do any videoing particularly or anything like that, because I could have, you know, bookended the week with the Dressmakers ball and the Stitch Festival. So what I thought I would do is I would just put a few photos and things in as I'm talking, so hopefully you've seen a few of those. At some point I will do a makes video and I will talk about the dress that I've made, and I'm going to write a blog as well, because the fabric I used was absolutely fabulous that I bought from Make at 140. So I will share all of that in a video very shortly. Anyway, on to today. So it is about 10:30. I'm going to be leaving in an hour or so and meeting Helen at the train station, and we're going to go on up. Thankfully the rail strikes aren't on today, so hopefully we'll be fine. We've booked a seat, so we should be fine. We should be able to sit for the whole way. I am wearing a Me Made, which I haven't shared with you yet. So this is the Friday Pattern Company Zadie. I think it's Friday Pattern Company. Oh, I'm so rubbish with pattern company names, and that's really rude. So if I have got that wrong, I really apologise. And if I have got it wrong, I'll make sure I put the name of it across the screen. I should check first, shouldn't I? Anyway, this is the Zadie. So I have made it in a really soft chambray that I bought from Hobbycraft. It is a really cheap, inexpensive fabric. And I kind of get a little bit like, I don't want to spend loads and loads of money on fabric. And I saw this fabric and thought, oh, that'd be a really nice thing. I could make a wearable toile. Some people don't agree with wearable toiles. Some people just like to make a toile. That's fine, but everybody's on a different sort of boat with that. So I decided I wanted to make a wearable one. I don't have much time, so I was kind of hoping that this would fit, that I'd be able to make it, because if I don't have much time, then making a toile up, it feels sort of, sometimes feels a little bit of a waste of my time. But then that said, other times it's really essential. Should I stop going on about toiles and talk about my Zadie? So I made this out of this cheap fabric from Hobbycraft, and when I got home, I put it straight in the wash, just on its own, and washed it through, hung it on the line. And when I went to go and cut it out, I realised it had these really weird marks all over it, where the dye had possibly come out of it when I washed it. I don't quite know. It was almost like it had white bleach marks all over it. I was like, oh, for goodness sake. But I really wanted to make it. And I only had an afternoon where I had the chance to cut it and start sewing it. So I thought, oh, I'll just do it anyway. I tried to avoid some of the white patches, but it was unavoidable, because I bought enough just to make this, you know, just enough. So I made it up and I was really pleased with it. I messaged Tamlin from Sewn on the Time, because she had made one, and I asked her what she had done in terms of grading and things. She's done a whole video on it, so do go and watch it, as has Helen from Stitch Rip Repeat. They did a collaboration on the Zadie, and it was the push that I wanted to make the Zadie myself, because I'd been on the fence about it for a while. I didn't like the fact that it was so oversized. I still feel like this is quite oversized, but not to the extent that it's meant to be. So I went with what Tamlin had done, and she had done a size 10 at the top, graded to an 8 around the hips, and reduced the crotch by about 4 centimeters. So I did basically exactly the same, kind of looking at what her measurements were and my measurements were, and whether that would sort of work or not. And I'm really pleased with how that's come out. I think that it fits really nicely. I don't think it's too baggy anywhere. yeah, so I'm really pleased with how it's come out. Now this is a 3/4 length. This is how it's meant to be. I didn't change the pattern at all other than those different adjustments. And I'm 5'6", so as you can see, this is where it comes on me. I've actually cut this out again in what I would call my proper fabric, and I've done it in exactly the same size, but I've lengthened the legs because I'd like it to be really long. And I've got this really beautiful teal green fabric with like a little, it's either like a little white feather or a little white petal or something like that through, which actually I bought from First Fabrics where Tamlin works, so how funny. So yeah, so I am going to be making this again, and this is what I'm going to be wearing on the train on the way, because I thought it was nice and comfortable. We're not going to be doing anything today other than going and getting our food for our evening meal tonight, and then just going to our hotel and getting ourselves ready for the morning. So I'm probably going to just wear this really big old cardi with it, which is not particularly flattering. I'll put it on and show you, but I don't know whether it's going to be hot or cold on the train, and I just wanted something that was easy to throw on and that would keep me nice and warm. So yeah, so it's probably not the most loveliest look, but anyway, there we go. So I've packed my suitcase. I need to go and what do I need to do? I need to go and pack my lunch, and I'm going to go and paint my nails. I painted my nails for the ball last week in red, as you can see, and that one chipped, so I took it off last night. So I'm going to repaint that so I don't have a thumb missing. I thought I'd just show you. I bought these earrings ages and ages ago, and they were from Etsy, and I just thought they were really, really cute. They had either round ones or what have you, and I'll try and put the link in below because I just thought they were really nice. They're little wooden ones with this little painted hand painted, I think it looks like the sea or waves, and I thought it went really well with my Zadie, so I thought that would match really nicely. Anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. So I'll do a little bit of footage today when I see Helen and when we're on the train together, but so I'll see you later. Bye. I thought I'd just very quickly come back on because I watched my video through that I just did, and I realised that I started talking about the cheap fabric and the bleachy lines that came up, and then as I normally do, I just went off on a tangent and started talking about something else, and I didn't go back to what my point was. Honestly, what am I like? So the point is that although I had all these bleachy lines, I wore it anyway, put it in the wash, and whatever the second wash did, it kind of evened out all of those lines. So it's all fine now. So it's just like this washed out denim, and the lines have gone, and it seems absolutely fine. And my girl said that it's a bit, that they think the look is a little bit like Donna from Mamma Mia. And I thought, oh, I'll take that actually, I quite like that. And I did also see, because I've been kneeling down while I've been talking to you, that my legs are really wrinkled. I did actually iron this before I started talking on the video, but where I've been kneeling down, it's all wrinkled. So I'm going to go and iron these again because I don't want to get on the train with wrinkled knees. Anyway, I will speak to you later. Bye. Hiya, so I'm on the train. I'm speaking very quietly because there's lots of people around. It's quite quiet. I'm here with Helen. So we're going to have a little bit of lunch, and we'll get going, and we'll probably take a little bit of video either as we're on the way or when we get there. Alright, see you later. Bye. Hiya, so it's Friday evening, and Helen and I have arrived at our hotel really safely. It was pretty good, smooth train ride. I think it was a bit delayed, which I'm not quite sure why, because I don't remember being delayed anywhere, but anyway, it did get a bit busy, but other than that, it was all good, it was all fine. So we got back to our hotel, and we both kind of went, I need a cup of tea. So we sat and had a cup of tea together and just chilled out for a little bit, and then we went out for a meal, which was very nice. We both have eaten way too much, and we're both feeling a bit fat and full now, but hey ho, it has to be done sometimes, doesn't it? So it's actually not that late, it's only about 9:30, but we're both absolutely shattered. It's so weird how sitting around doing nothing, I know we were travelling, but we weren't just sat doing nothing for ages, actually is incredibly exhausting. So we're both so tired, we're really shattered, and we want to be really prepared for tomorrow. So Helen's gone off to her room, and she's going to FaceTime her family, which will be lovely, and I'm going to FaceTime mine in a bit. I'm going to get my bag packed up for the morning. There's a few bits and pieces I want to make sure I've got with me, like a drink and bits of fruit and things like that. And although I ironed my clothes before I came, they've obviously been in my suitcase, so I'm going to get the ironing board out in a minute and just re-iron my clothes, and then I think I'm going to have a really early night. But I thought I'd just share with you, seeing as it is a Me Made week, I thought I'd share with you what I'm wearing. So I have got my a ready-to-wear pyjama top on, but I've got that on with my True Bias Hudson pants. Pretty sure it's True Bias. I know I had a bit of a mix-up earlier with the Zadie jumpsuit, and I think I said Friday Pattern Company, but it is Paper Theory Pattern Company, so sorry about that. But I did put it up on the screen, so it's fine. Right, I'll show you my Hudsons. So they don't really go with my top, but it was the first thing I kind of pulled out of my cupboard this morning. So these are my most favourite Hudson pants that I've got. I've got a few pairs, and these are my absolute favourite. I love them. I love the colour of them. This fabric again was quite a cheap fabric. It was from Hobbycraft, but it was from several years ago, so you unfortunately can't buy it anymore. But I really like it against the white ribbing that I've got. And I put a little grey sort of hoodie ribbon thing in, or tie in. They've got, you have to excuse my socks, I've got bright orange socks on. I've got the ribbing on the bottom. They've just a really nice sort of leg shape. They are just really, really comfy, and I absolutely love them. They are my most favourite and most worn pair of pyjamas, if I'm absolutely honest. So I'm really glad that I brought them with me. Like I say, it doesn't really go with my pyjama top, but it's fine. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you there, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Hiya, so we're all up and washed and ready to go, breakfasted. Helen had a quite good night, although you had some interesting singing next to you. I had somebody snoring next to me, which was quite interesting, so never mind. But yeah, so we're just on our way. It's an absolutely beautiful morning, really cold and fresh, but very, very sunny. So yeah, we're on our way. So we will catch up with you a bit later. Bye.
Hiya, so we have just got back to the hotel, and like normal, I've realised I didn't share with you what I was wearing today. So I'm going to sit back and show you now. So I've got on the Sew Over It Giselle dress, and I absolutely love this dress. It's one of my favourites. I think off the top of my head, I made this in a size 12, and I lengthened the bodice just by about an inch or so, just because I felt like I wanted it to sit a bit lower. Normally with Sew Over It patterns, they're normally a bit short on the body for me, so I do normally need to do that, but it's a very simple adjustment. I'm pretty sure I've shown you this before. I've made it in this gorgeous, gorgeous fabric that I bought from Andrea from Beyond the Pink Door, and it's just a beautiful viscose fabric. It's really lovely. Short sleeve, it's got a little slit in it. I can't show you the whole thing because I'm in a hotel room and I haven't got the best position to be able to show you. And I'm wearing that with my pumps today. And on the way there and on the way back, when it was a bit chillier, I had it on with just a very, very old denim jacket, and I quite like that. I think that looks quite nice with the pumps and everything, and then obviously if I was to wear this to work, I can wear it with some heels, and that looks quite nice as well. So we've had a fantastic day today. We've met so many people. We've met Ruan and Rachel and Tamlin from Yorkshire Sogo, Rach Stitched Up and Sewn on the Time. We've met Michelle from Sewing But. Oh, we've met so many people, and it's been absolutely fantastic. And I will put pictures and things in. I'll either put pictures in while I'm talking now, or when I get back home on and probably on Monday, I'm going to share a video with all the bits and pieces that I've bought, because I've bought lots of patterns, which I vowed I wasn't going to buy a single pattern while I was up here. If I was going to buy anything, it'd be a bit of material, but I think I've bought 5 patterns today, so I've been very naughty. But do you know what, it's a little treat to come up, and yeah, I'm not going to feel guilty about it. I'm just going to treat myself and enjoy what I've got. So I will share that with you when I see you on Monday. But obviously Helen and I are going to go and have a meal together. I think we're just going to go to Pizza Express. I think that's what we're going to do tonight. And we've booked a table, I think, for in about half an hour. So she's going to ring her husband, I'm going to ring mine, we're going to have a cup of tea together, and then we're going to make our way over. But I thought I'd just quickly pop on, like I say, because I completely forgot to share with you what I had on this morning. Anyway, I will speak to you later. Bye.
Hello, so it is Sunday morning, and yet again I've forgotten to share with you what I'm wearing because, you know, that's what I do. So Helen and I are here together. Helen is looking absolutely gorgeous in her Zadie. In fact, if you don't mind, I'll turn around and show everybody that in a second.
Yeah, okay.
She's got her gorgeous necklace on as well. Really love
divine.
it. And her matching rings, really nice. I absolutely love it. It's so lovely. Anyway, it is a glorious morning. We've just stopped at a little cafe just behind us here in a park, and we've sat and we've had a bacon and a sausage sandwich.
Don't tell them that.
Sorry. Cup of tea, and just enjoy the sunshine and watch the dogs playing. It's been just so lovely, isn't it?
Lovely, gorgeous.
So it's about 1:45, and we're going to take a slow amble over to Alexandra Palace and enjoy the rest of the day. But we're going to swap seas now, and we're going to show you what we're wearing today. Hello, so I have got on my Tilly and the Buttons Lyra, and I've got it in this gorgeous visco fabric which I got from Andrea from Beyond Pink Door. Funny actually, because the fabric yesterday was from Andrea as well. So I've got it on today with my denim jacket. I think it's quite a nice look, my little pumps, but I'll just show you what it looks like without that as well. So yeah, so it's just a really nice flowy dress with lots of nice tiers, pockets, and hopefully it'll be nice and cool to wear today while we're at the show. There we go.
Hiya, so it's Monday morning. I got back very late last night, very tired, collapsed in a heap, and this morning have had to deal with the totally, you know, raucous suitcase that I had to unpack and the washing and all the rest of it. So I've been doing that all this morning. I wanted to get home and video a little bit and talk about the show and maybe show you some of the bits and pieces that I had. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert that now. Hiya, so I am going to talk to you about my weekend away with Helen. There is so much for me to try and remember about the weekend, so I'm probably going to be stop-starting this video a little bit, so I do apologise. But all I can say is I had a fantastic weekend. Helen was a perfect partner in crime to go away with. She was such a lot of fun, and in particular because I am an avid tea drinker, I absolutely love a cup of tea. I have one here all on the go in my favourite mug. So I went away with her, and she wanted to stop and have cups of tea just as much as I did, so it was perfect. It was absolutely great. So the weekend, we arrived at the train station at midday on Friday, and obviously said hello and met up with each other and what have you, and got on the train. And Helen so incredibly kindly had bought a couple of mini bottles of Prosecco. So I brought some glasses and a whole load of nibbles and things. So we had a lovely little picnic on the train, a little glass of Prosecco. So it was just enough just to sort of go, whoa, we're having a treat. Very interesting train ride. I won't go into the ins and outs of it, but let's just say it's very interesting doing a bit of people watching, how people react to different things that are going on, and travel etiquette. I think that's how you would put it. It was quite entertaining, and we were just having a giggle the whole time. It was quite funny. Helen had researched the entire journey, so she had looked at how to get to the hotel. So she'd written it all down, so we just jumped on the tube, knew exactly where we were going. So it was great, because I have to say my sense of direction is pretty shocking, as Helen will probably concur. And we got to the hotel, and we literally kind of dumped our bags, had a cup of tea together, and then went off and had a meal. We just went to a local restaurant and had a meal. We had a couple of drinks, not alcohol. We had some mocktails. We just had a really lovely time, but we got ourselves to bed fairly early because I think we were both quite exhausted. It's ridiculous, isn't it? You're sat doing nothing on the train, and it's lovely because it takes away the stress of driving and all that kind of thing. But you get there and you're suddenly like, oof, I'm actually really exhausted. So we both had quite an early night. And then the next day we had breakfast in the hotel, but we had just bought a couple of bits and pieces with us to have breakfast in our rooms because the hotel restaurant was closed. And off we popped to the show in Alexandra Palace. Now, what an amazing building Alexandra Palace is. And I'm not sure if I've taken very many pictures of the outside. I took a couple of pictures of some of the things inside, and there was a really beautiful stained glass window. So I will put those sorts of images up. But What a fantastic day we had for so many different reasons. And I think one of the things that I loved in particular was this kind of collaboration of all these people with mutual interests. And even though you didn't speak to everybody that was there, you just felt like part of a buzz of a community of people who had a love and appreciation for all of the things that were there. And it wasn't just sewing, there was knitting, there was felting, embroidery, patchwork, there was jewellery making, I think there was even some paper craft there. I'm not sure actually, I might have got that wrong, might not have been paper craft, but there was so many different crafts there. It was predominantly heavy on the sewing side, so obviously for us sewists it was great, but there were lots of other things there as well. And there were exhibitions of artwork, again I'll put some of the photos up, just really unusual things, beautiful quilts. When you first walked into Alexandra Palace, there were these displays of quilts that people had made, and they were demonstrated or displayed on the corridor leading up to the rooms that we went into for the exhibition, and they were just fantastic. So I did take a few pictures of those because they were beautiful. So we had a good old look around. We were going to be really good and not buy anything and just have a good look and then maybe buy something later in the afternoon or the next day, but you just get swept up into the hubbub of everything. So I did buy a few things, but that's fine. But before I talk to you about all the things that I bought, because I'd love to show you and I can't wait to share with you all the different fabrics and patterns and things that I bought, I just wanted to talk to you about some of the people that we met. So we met several of the Sewing Bee contestants, which was very exciting. We met Jen from, I don't know what series they were in, but we met Jen, and she is one of my most favourite Sewing Bee contestants, I have to say. I absolutely love Jen. She just always had this really kind, wonderful kind of nature about her on the show, and I've met her a few times just at shows and things, and she's always so lovely, and she seems to remember me when I see her, which is so nice of her as well. But she now runs her own company called Generates, and she makes these beautiful sewing gauges, and she also makes a few other bits and pieces, and I have bought some things from her, so I will show you that in a minute. We also met Mercedes, who was her partner in crime at the show, and she was also on the Sewing Bee at the same time as Jen, and she was just lovely, so lovely to talk to. And again, I've met her before, and she's just such a lot of fun, really nice person. We saw Adam, who I think was on last year's Sewing Bee, and we also met Man Yi, who was on this year's, and Richie, and they were all just so nice, just so pleasant, just so easy to talk to, and really just lovely, just so lovely. We also met a group of ladies who all had on, talking about the Sewing Bee, they all had on matching jackets. So I don't know if you remember, but on the Sewing Bee this year they made quilted jackets, so they're all patchwork jackets. They had made up the fabric first by putting together this patchwork, and then made this patchwork jacket, no fastenings, just a very simple sort of look jacket, but really effective and absolutely beautiful. And I spotted one lady and thought, that's the Sewing Bee jacket that they made, and they went, oh, there's another one, oh, there's another one, and there were 7 of them all together. And they were a group of ladies from Bedfordshire, and they gave me permission to put their photo up on the screen, because I just thought this was again another fabulous example of this community, and they'd all decided they were going to make these jackets. Some of them said they only finished them the night before. There was one lady that had a very Christmassy looking one. There were multicoloured ones just in blues, just in blacks and whites. They were just fantastic, and it was so effective seeing them all together. I absolutely loved it. So they were such a lovely group of ladies to meet, and it was quite funny because we kept seeing them through the day, and it was impossible not to know who they were, because they were the ladies with the patchwork jackets on and they were fab. So that was great. One of the highlights of the day, I have to say, was meeting Sewing Bunny, so Michelle from Sewing Bunny, and then also meeting Tamlin from Sewn on the Tyne, Rachel from Rachel Stitched Up, and Ruan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl. They were there as a three. They are very good friends, so they'd gone down together and they were staying in a separate place. I don't think they were staying in a hotel. I think they'd hired a little house together and they'd come in for the day, and they sort of crept up behind us when I was on the Sew Over It store and sort of said hello, and there was just this kind of, oh wow, hi, yeah. Never met them before in my life. Obviously I've watched them on YouTube, seen them on Instagram, kind of spoken to them a little bit here and there. I've spoken to Tamlin sort of on a Zoom chat before, but other than that, everybody else was just sort of, you know, little messages and things. But it was the weirdest thing. It was like we'd known them forever. It was the strangest thing, which I think just goes to show, you know, obviously lovely personality and just yeah, just very welcoming and warming and all the rest of it. But they were a bad influence because they went to the Prosecco bar and they invited us and we went. I mean, it didn't take much persuading, I'm not gonna lie. I don't drink very much, so it doesn't take very much for me to get merry, and I had two. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'll need a cup of tea to kind of wash that down with later. But we sat and we had a good old yap and a good old chat. It was great fun. And then Adam Sews came up onto the catwalk along with a whole load of other men, and they were displaying things that they'd made in, I want to say it was called Men Sew Too. If I've got that wrong, I'm really sorry, but they did this little catwalk. So we were there cheering them on, and I believe that the three ladies, Ruan, Rachel and Tamlin and Helen in particular, they've known Adam through, again, social media, so they all knew each other, so they were really cheering them on, and I kind of cheered from a distance but held everybody's bags. But then I got the chance to meet Adam a little bit later on, and oh my gosh, he is such a lovely gentleman, really, really lovely. He was there with his husband, and he's clearly an incredibly wonderful sewist. Is that what we call ourselves? I'm not quite sure. I don't know what we call ourselves. And I've now friends with him on Instagram, and I've had a little look at some of the things he sews, and they are fantastic. In particular, his slippers. I love his slippers. So please do go and have a look at his channel. So yes, so we had an amazing time with the three lovely ladies, and then we all parted ways and kept bumping into each other throughout the day, which was great. So we then, like I say, we've met Michelle from Sewing Bunny. We also bumped into the very lovely Anna from You've Got Me in Stitches. That's who she is on YouTube, and she's Fuzzy Baby Seals on Instagram. And we met up with two ladies that she was with at the time. I don't think they'd come together, I think they'd met there, who quite often are on the Zoom call that goes on with Beyond the Pink Door. So it was so lovely to meet them, because we had sort of spoken briefly over a Zoom call when I did some of those Zoom calls a long time ago. I haven't had a chance to recently, but it was really lovely to meet them. And Anna was just so lovely, and she looked absolutely glorious in a beautiful dress that she'd made, which was sewing themed fabric. And I also met her son, who was an absolute darling, I have to say. He was such a gentleman and so lovely, and it was really nice to see a young person who wasn't sort of, you know, put out by the fact that he was there at a sewing show. It was just really nice. He was just there supporting his mum. It was just absolutely glorious to see. So yeah, really lovely. I know that I'm going to have missed out people that I met, and I am really sorry, because I know that I met Double Sew 7, and I met the lovely Sewing Bear, and there were so many other people as well, and I just can't remember everybody's name, so I'm so sorry, but I'll put images up of everybody I met and all the different things that were going on in the show. And I've probably talked about people I've met over both days there, not just the Saturday. So but yes, on the Saturday we then went home completely exhausted, and we went and had a pizza in a local pizzeria, went to bed and got up the next day. But the next day, instead of just having breakfast in our room, we realised on the way to the show the day before that if we walked through this park, which was absolutely stunning, a really lovely green space in London, there was a little cafe that sold breakfast bits and pieces. So we went off and had breakfast there and enjoyed chatting to a couple of people that were there, and there were some people with their dogs and they were running around, and it was just really nice to see. It was a lovely, relaxed, you know, morning before going into the show again. And I have to say, we were incredibly blessed. We had such beautiful weather. I mean, we were inside for most of the day, but we had to walk back and forth from, you know, where we were staying, and we were so blessed that it was dry, because it would have been a completely different sort of kettle of fish if it had been raining. So yeah, it was absolutely lovely. So Sunday came and went, and again we met lots of people. We bought a few more bits and pieces. Lots of things had sold out. It was quite shocking actually how much had sold out from the day before. And obviously, you know, on Thursday, I think the show's on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I can't imagine how much had gone in those first 2 days before we got there as well. But we then got back onto the tube to get our train home, and I took a couple of pictures of Helen, and she took some of me. We looked like bag ladies because we just had loads and loads of stuff going home with, and I bought some coat fabric which was really big and bulky, and I just couldn't, no matter what I did, I couldn't shove it in my suitcase, so had all of that as well. So it's quite funny. So then we went home and went back onto the train, and we had a lovely train ride home. Unfortunately we weren't sat together, but again we were sat very close to each other, and we were able to have a bit of a chat. I tried to have a snooze, but it doesn't really work when it's a very busy train. And we got home and just felt like we'd had the most amazing weekend. So thank you, Helen, for being such great company and doing all the organising of knowing where we were walking and which trains to catch and everything. You were an absolute star. So I'm going to get some of the bits and pieces that I bought, and I'm going to share those with you. Whew, I've sorted through all my stuff, and I feel a little bit like I don't know where to start. So where shall I start? I'm going to show you some of the sewing patterns that I bought first of all. So it looks like a massive pile, but some of them are A0 printed and have come in sort of big packages, so it's not as bad as what it looks. Now, one of the people that I totally forgot to say that I met was the absolutely gorgeous and so lovely Selena, and she is So Small on YouTube and on Instagram, although I think her Instagram is So Small 25. I'm not sure, but I'll put her names and things on the screen, and I will also make sure that I put her details down below. Now, she's actually a pattern insider for Sew Over It, and she was wearing a gorgeous dress, and I was like, oh, I love what you've got on. And she said, oh, it's actually the brand new pattern, which isn't out yet, it's coming out on Monday. It's the Estelle dress. So I was like, oh, I really like it. She said, oh, the ladies at the Sew Over It stand have got it on as well, and Rosie was there from Sew Over It and she had it on. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to get that pattern because I really like it. I can see that it would be a very nice work dress, sort of plain kind of t-shirt dress with a little bit of a difference, because it had well, it's just got like a tie on it. Now, obviously I've bought these envelopes so I can show you what patterns I've bought, and I've just suddenly realised that's all I'm going to show you, so that's a bit ridiculous. So I'll put the line drawing up on the screen and a couple of the pictures from the Sew Over It website so that you can see what it looks like, and also a picture of Estelle, that's the name of the pattern. Also a picture of Selena. Selena was there with her mum and her absolutely gorgeous little girl, and they were having a very busy day, so that was lovely, and it was so nice to meet her again. I've met her a couple of times, and I was really pleased actually, because the last time I saw her at the Stitch Festival, and she was on the catwalk showing off the Sew Over It Giselle dress, and I loved what she had on so much that I bought the pattern and made it. And when I met her, I was wearing the Giselle dress. I was like, oh, this is because of your inspiration. So it was really lovely. So I bought the now I'm going to say the Selena dress, aren't I? The Estelle dress. Not doing very well today. Bought the Estelle dress because of Selena. So Selena, that's your bad influence again. But while I was at the Sew Over It stand, they also had display items of all of their patterns that you could try on. In fact, lots of the places had that, and I absolutely love that. It's so nice to see things in person rather than just kind of this pattern and you think, oh yeah, it's really nice and I think that'll suit me, but being able to actually try it on makes such a difference. And I have had my eye on the Amelia jacket for quite some time, and they had it there, and I'll put some pictures up. It clashed awfully with what I had on because I had on such a pattern dress and the jacket was patterned as well, but I loved the shape of it and I really liked it, so I bought that pattern too. Again, brown envelope, so picture on the screen. And I also bought the Dahlia coat. Now, I've wanted to make the coat-a-gun, the Jessie coat-a-gun for quite some time. Never been able to try it on, but when I went and saw Karen from So Little Time the week before, she had it, so I tried hers on, and then I tried it on again at the show. So I really want to make that, and I already bought the pattern, so I have actually bought some fabric, which I'll show you in a minute, to make that. But I also tried on the Dahlia coat, and I think now looking at the hashtag, Becky from Notes from the Sewing Room has made it, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful coat. Really lovely. Again, I think it should be quite simple because it doesn't have any fastenings, but it is lined, and I've never made anything lined before, so I feel like that's going to be quite a challenge for me, and I'm really looking forward to having a go at making that, and I'd like to make that this year if I can. So I have actually bought some fabric to go with that. So those were the patterns that I bought from Sew Over It. So I'll show you some of the things as well that I bought in relation to Sew Over It. So before going to the show, I had bought the Nicole dress pattern, which was the new dress pattern that's just come out before the Estelle, and I absolutely loved it. I've got a real fascination with shirt dresses at the moment, and you'll see I've actually bought another shirt dress pattern, but really loved this shirt dress pattern. It just looked like the perfect thing, the thing that I would be the sort of thing I'd buy if I went into a shop. I just absolutely loved it, and they have it made up in this fabric, which I absolutely love, and I've seen a couple on Instagram have also made it as well, and it's this beautiful viscose fabric. I can't remember what they call it, but it's on their website, and I knew that when I went to the show, this was the one thing I really wanted to buy, but I wanted to see it in person first, and I'm so glad that I did. When I got there were a couple other fabrics that I liked, and I held them up against myself, and Helen said, no, that's the one for you, it suits you much better, and I'm really glad that I did. I'm so excited about making up that Nicole dress in this fabric. I think it will be beautiful. So I bought that at the Sew Over It stand. I then bought at I think it was Roy's fabric, I think it was called. Was it Roy's fabric? No, it wasn't. It was Higgs and Higgs. So I bought this fabric from Higgs and Higgs, and this is a wool blend. It's like a boucle kind of fabric. I'm not going to lie, on the screen, this is a bit embarrassing to say that, I think this looks a bit like my dog blankets. It's not, it was quite expensive, and I wouldn't let my dogs lie in it, but this is what I intend to make the Dahlia up with. Now, I had said to Helen, one of your things that I want to ask you, it's your job while we're here, do not let me buy anything boring. Nothing just black, nothing plain, nothing safe, because I do that all the time. And then I always think, oh, everybody else wears stuff that's way more exciting than what I do. But we'd had quite a chat about this, and we both decided, and Helen was very good actually. She said, you need to have a coat that you can wear with anything, because I have a beautiful checkered coat that I feel I can only wear with plain things. So I've bought this plain so I can wear anything patterned underneath it as well as plain. So I'm really excited about making that. Obviously I need to buy the lining fabric. I haven't decided on that yet. I didn't buy that at the show. I just thought that's really nice. I can feel the quality of it. I've tried to feel these fabrics before, and some of them are quite itchy, so it was nice to see it in person at the show, and this is lovely and soft. Haven't washed it yet, but it feels like it's going to wash up really nicely. But yes, that was from Higgs and Higgs, one of my favourite stores, I have to say, so it was nice to go and see them in person. I like their store because I particularly like their website. It's so easy to use, and it's bright and fresh, and it's just lovely. So that was for the Dahlia coat. I then bought this, and I think this was from Roy's fabric. This was, this is what I've bought with my intention for the Jessie coat-a-gun. Again, I'll put the picture up on the screen. Now, I've bought this, and I bought it because this was the way the fabric was shown on the roll. It was folded over, and this was like on the outside, and it's really soft, really, really nice. This pale grey sort of felty, fuzzy kind of fabric. I think it's really nice. And when I got home and showed my husband what I'd made, he said, all right, so you're going to make that up with that on the outside, and that's going to be on the inside because it's soft. And I was like, oh no. So as you can see, it's almost like a knit, but I think that needs to go on the inside. It's a really heavy kind of Pontoroma type fabric. It is stretchy. So now I'm a bit confused because I wanted it to be the pale grey. So I don't know if any of you have got any ideas or whether that's okay if that goes on the inside. It's not itchy, it feels okay, so I think it'd be fine. I kind of get his reasoning behind it because that'd be soft, wouldn't it? But I know, what do you think? But I want it to be the grey side, the pale grey side. So yeah, so I bought that for the Jessie Coatigum. Right, now, I have just shown you something that was from Higgs and Higgs, so I'll just show you something else I bought from Higgs and Higgs, and that is 2 remnants. They had a big remnant section and pattern section, then they had like all of their rolls of fabric on a different store. And I bought this. It's a really beautiful soft jersey. It's quite thick. I'd say it's like a sweatshirting, but it is stretchy. And they only had, I think one of them's 1/2 metre and one of them's 0.6 of a metre, but it's quite wide fabric. And I'm going to make the Tilly and the Buttons Nora jumper. I've made it before and really like it. And I just could see this. I could envision this with a pair of jeans on, maybe a belt, slightly tucked in at the front, but loose at the back, maybe rolled up sleeves. I could just see it in this fabric. I really liked the look of it. So I bought it and it was literally about £8 for both of those pieces. So I thought that was quite good. The only thing is with the Nora jumper is that I'm not sure whether I want to put cuffs on it this time, because my other one that I've got, although I love it, I do find it annoying that I can't push my sleeves up, and I'm not sure, but I think it will change the look of it completely if I put a ribbing on it. So if anybody's got any ideas about that, then let me know. But I quite like that, and I thought it was quite cheap but quite nice quality fabric, so I'm quite excited about that. So I'll carry on with fabric now. I'm doing fabric. So I also bought this Hessian sort of style fabric, which I'm just going to make a tote bag with. I just really liked the little strawberries and things. They had this in lots of different colourways. I don't know what store I bought it from. I'm really sorry. I don't even have a receipt for it. All I've got is a plain white plastic bag that it came in, so I can't tell you, unfortunately. But it's the sort of thing that you can buy in lots and lots of different places. Lots of places sell this sort of heavyweight canvasy Hessian type stuff. But yeah, really like that, and I thought that'd be quite cheery. And I made myself a Christmas tote bag last year and I love it, but obviously haven't used it during the year because it's got robins all over it. I also bought, this is the last bit of fabric, yes, last bit of fabric. I also bought 2 pieces of fabric from By Grazia. I bought a t-shirt fabric, which I just want to make a nice plain t-shirt out of this. So it's a lovely cotton jersey, beautifully soft, feels like really nice quality. I don't have many t-shirts and I think that would be really nice, and it's a bit different, so I quite like it. It does feel like it's quite safe colours for me, I'm not going to lie, because it's grey and blue. And I was like, oh, is it a bit too boring? But I think it's okay. However, I've rectified the boringness by getting this fabric. Look how bright that is, absolutely gorgeous. So this is a French terry, really beautiful fabric. I mean, I just love the colours. If you're wearing something like that, how can you not be happy? Just love it, and I don't think I'll feel out of my comfort zone wearing this either. And my intentions for this are a Billy sweatshirt, but not the puff sleeves. I'm just going to make it with normal sleeves. I just think that'll be a really nice sweatshirt, and I'll probably pick one of these different colours up for the ribbing. Not quite sure which one yet. Yeah, not quite sure, so I'll decide on that, but really, really nice. So that is all the fabric that I bought. So I also bought a couple of pieces of jewellery while I was there from Gillum Glass, and these are very sweet. So these are, so they're obviously made of glass, but they are little, I don't know if that's coming up on the screen very well, little sort of dropped earrings. I wore them to work the other day and they looked absolutely lovely. So really pleased with those. But I really liked these as well. And these are little studs. I haven't worn those yet, so slightly more turquoisey. Really beautiful earrings. Very pleased with those. So got those. And I also bought, oh, from Generates. I didn't buy any of her gauges, but I did buy a little pin. I've also bought something for my daughter, so I'm really hoping she won't watch this. I don't think she does, so I think it'll be all right. But I bought this. Now, she had these. I don't know if that's going to come up. Can you see that that's green in there? It's like a bright turquoisey green. If not, I'll take a picture of it. But this is just a little wooden brooch handcrafted by Jen, and I feel like that's going to be really special actually. I really like that, and I like the fact that it's got this lovely colour in it, that she had them in all sorts of colours. But I've also bought one for my daughter, but it's all wrapped up and I don't want to unwrap it, but that's a knitting one, and I've bought it with a pale pink heart instead. And on the subject of my daughter, daughters, I bought Amy a little Christmas present. So I have bought her some sock yarn because she's such an avid knitter, and I just thought those colours were absolutely beautiful. And this is, does it tell me where it's from? I do know where it's from, but I can't, it's not on this, but I'll put it up on the screen so you can see it. So I also bought my other daughter 2 of these balls of wool. She'd be like, oh right, great, what did you buy those for? But this is actually part of a kit, but they've emailed me the pattern, and this is from Toft. She has got into crochet in a big way. In fact, she's recently made a crocheted giraffe. It was a kit that I bought from, I think it was the middle of Lidl years ago, and it's just sat in a box and never been touched, and she just decided to do it. And I'll put a picture of her up on the screen. It's so cute. I really love it. But she's like, I really want to make something else, and I've bought her the kit to make a Highland cow, which I think is just really funny. I don't know why I was drawn to that one, but anyway, so I've bought the yarn for it, and I've also got the email of the pattern, or the pattern emailed to me, so I'm going to download it all, put it on in some nice paper and give that to her for Christmas. So I think she'll really like that. Right, I'm going to get on because I'm sure this video is now ridiculously long, so I'm so sorry. Ooh. But these are the last few patterns I bought. So new pattern company to me, Seasons of East. Now this is 2 sisters. One of the sisters does the designing, and the other sister is part of the business and helps sort of all the promotion, and I'm running of the business, etc. I've never heard of these before, but I went with Helen because Helen had heard of them. She went and bought a pattern, but then while I was there, I was looking at one of the dresses on the stand, another shirt dress, and it is really similar to the Nicole dress, so I was like, oh, I don't think I need that. But then the more I stood there, the more Helen was talking, the more I was thinking, I really like that shirt dress. So I did get the pattern in the end. So this is the line drawing of it, and the pattern, the company is Seasons of East, and the pattern name is Autumn in London. And it was, this line drawing doesn't really give it justice, but the actual shirt dress, it was made in a pink crepe polka dot, and it was just so beautiful. And look how beautiful the pattern is, that the packaging that it comes in. Oh, I said that weird then, didn't it? Packaging. The packaging that it comes in, it's so lovely. It's this sort of lovely cotton bag, and it's all inside. I won't take it out because it's just the instructions and the actual pattern. And if you take this bag back, which you don't have to, and buy another pattern, they give you a discount on the next pattern. It's all meant to be very environmental, and yeah, just absolutely lovely. And I was really drawn to that. And they sold tote bags, and I walked away and I really regretted that I didn't buy a tote bag, because the tote bags look like this, but I didn't really need another one, especially as I've got fabric to make one as well. But yes, really love that, and I can't wait to make yet another shirt dress. You're going to be like that. I'm not going to watch your videos, all you make is shirt dresses. Right, I then bought, and Helen bought at the same time, it's a pattern company called Size Me, and it's the Serene skirt. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm not keen on the drawing on here. And if I had seen this, I don't think I would have bought it, if I'm absolutely honest. The only reason I bought it was because they had samples on display, and the skirt was absolutely beautiful. I absolutely loved this skirt. It was just elasticated waist, slash pockets, and then the tiered skirt, and it had a dipped hem, high-low hem, which I absolutely loved. I thought it was really lovely. Helen, I showed it to Helen, I held it up and went, oh, look at this, isn't this lovely? We both fell in love with it. So she bought the pattern, as did I, and we might even do a collaboration on it, you never know. But yeah, absolutely beautiful, and I can see this being in a really nice viscose and wearing it with a jumper, with a belt, boots and tights, but I can also see this as a beautiful summer skirt with like a vest top or a loose fitting top. They said that it goes really nicely with one of their other patterns, which was a boxy sort of tee. I didn't buy that, as I know I've got some skirt patterns really similar to that, but I just thought that was lovely. Like I say though, this just doesn't give it justice. And if I had been shown that, I would have just walked past it without a second glimpse. But because of the samples, I bought it. There you go. And last but not least, you'll be very relieved to hear, I've bought another coat pattern. Now, Helen had been saying for ages, I want to go and see Tessuti Fabrics. I want to go and see Tessuti Fabrics. They don't normally have their printed patterns here in the UK, and I really want to go and see if they have them, because I know they've got a stall. And we went, and again, guess what they had? Samples of their patterns. They had the most incredible coats there, and Helen tried one on and I tried one on. We were trying all sorts on, and she fell in love with a coat pattern which had a really massive kind of collar that came round in a big swoop and like an ovally shape, and it looked stunning on her. I mean, absolutely stunning. And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. And then I was like, I'm gonna try some on, and I tried some different ones on, and they had this coat pattern. I'm trying to move the string out the way so you can see it, but I have bought the Richmond coat. Honestly, this is not the sort of thing that I would wear, and I tried it on, and oh my gosh, I just fell in love with it straight away. I can't remember the colour of the coat that they had there. I think it was like a brownie and black colour, but it just felt, it just felt exquisite on it. It felt so luxurious, and I just thought, I know I've got fabric at home I could make that with. In fact, I know that when I went away with Lucy from Geek Petite and Adele from Button and Pip, we went into Birmingham, and I bought some coat fabric, and I was not quite 100% sure what pattern I was going to make. That's what it's going to be. Now, whether I make that before I make the Dahlia coat, I don't know, but oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how much I'm excited about making this. But I want it to be brilliant, and I don't want to mess it up. And I think there's going to be a lot of things on here which are going to be things that I'm learning. So yeah, different techniques and things. So very, very excited about that. So have I told you everything about the show? I think I have. I'm sorry it took a long time, but these things do. So I will pop you back into the rest of my week. Bye. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of an insight to what the weekend was like with Helen. It was just such a lovely weekend, and I'm really glad that I went. But on with the 1 week Me Made October. So today I'm meant to be going to work. I've actually spent the morning at home. It's about midday now, and I've spent the morning at home just getting some washing on. John was ever so good. He is really good actually, and he did do quite a few bits and pieces over the weekend, but it's never quite the same as when you do it, is it? So I've just got a few bits and pieces done, but obviously it really helped what he did. So yeah, a few bits of washing. I need to hang those out now. I'm going to go and grab some lunch, and then I'm going to work from home for a little bit, and then I'm going to pop into the office. But because I'm going into the office, I've put on something a little bit nicer than just, you know, jeans and a t-shirt, or staying in my pajamas or what have you. So I have got on what I have now called my Kelly dress. I know I've shown you this before. This was the dress that I made for the So Frugal challenge that was run by Sam Frugalissima and Ruan Yorkshire Sew Girl. And it was to create a dress or garments, sorry, should I say, garment for a human being that was either free to you, a pattern that was free to you, or that you made up, and that the fabric was like an old piece of stash, as opposed to something you bought recently, or even upcycling sort of an old garment or something like that. So I decided that I'd had this piece of fabric in my stash for a long time. Sorry, I know I've told you all this before, but I had this fabric in my stash for a long time, and I really liked a Marks and Spencer's dress that I'd bought previously. So I tried to copy the pattern, and I've done it with what I feel is quite a lot of success. The only problem is, which is what I think I said before, is I think I got the sleeves a little bit wrong, and just when I'm moving around they feel a little bit tight, but I think that's something that only I will notice. And because I bought this fabric when I was up with my friend in Cambridge called Kelly, I have actually named this dress my Kelly dress. So I'll stand up and show you. It's a very long shirt dress. It comes down to sort of mid calf kind of length, or just below the knee. I've made it with a tie. There's no centre seam or mid seam. It just literally runs straight down, and it's got these triangular pieces inserted into the skirt to make it a bit more swishy and a bit wider. I really like it. I love the fabric. It's very lightweight. What I will say is I remember when I was making it, I hung it for a few days and then I made sure that I cut it very straight. But when I was ironing it this morning, I did notice that it was a little bit wavy, but I don't think you can really notice. Once it's on the body, it's okay. Trying out a bit of a new hairstyle today, and I'm looking at myself as I'm videoing it and thinking it's making me look like I've got a bit of a square head. But I thought I would try and put 2 French plaits in today, but not sure it's really working. I think I'm a bit more of a ponytail person, or 1 French plait. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing today. I might try and share with you a little bit of what I'm doing during the day, but if not, I will be back tomorrow when I am at the school. So I'll see you later. Bye. Hiya, so it's Monday evening and I didn't share any of the day today with you because, well, basically I ended up not even going into the office. I stayed at home and worked from home because everything I needed to do I could do from my little desk at home, and I could have as many cups of tea as I wanted. My dogs are curled up next to me, and when I needed a break I went and sat out in the sunshine, which was just lovely. So I don't get to do that at work, and like I say, I'm going to school tomorrow, so it'll be full on tomorrow, so it was quite nice to have that day, especially after the weekend that I've just had as well. So I'm not in anything me made now. I've got on my gym kit and I'm just off to boot camp. It's a very nice day, but it's very chilly, but we'll soon heat up. Don't think I'm going to be doing anything very much else. I've got my tea ready. We're having paella. I've got it all ready and chopped up, but I'm hoping John or Alan will be able to cook it for me for when I get home. So probably not going to share any more of today, but I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Hiya, so it is Tuesday today and I'm off to the school today. So I have got on my Atelier Dupe Frida blouse, which I got in a fabric from Guthrie Garney, but years and years ago. Although I've still seen this fabric out and about in lots of different places. It's really beautiful teal green with all these lovely colours over them. And I've also got on my Closet Core Sasha trousers. So I'll stand up and show you. And this fabric is from Haberdashery Fabric some more. So really simple look today. I've got a little black cardigan which I'm going to put on with it if I get cold, which it has turned quite chilly, I must say. Love these trousers. I know you've seen both of these things before, and like I've said in other 1 week me made videos, obviously I haven't got something brand new to wear in every single video, so this is a repeat, I'm afraid. So I'm off to the school today, running a little bit late, went to bed a bit too late last night, and I've sort of overslept this morning, so I'm literally off in just a minute, and then a friend of mine from work is going to be coming back with me. We're going to do a quick workout and then I've got the evening free, so that's really nice. So I will speak to you later. Bye. Hiya, so it is Wednesday today and it's actually about 5:30 in the evening. I didn't have a chance to record my video this morning, so I've been at the school all day today and I have worn a really comfy, easy dress today. I wore trousers and a blouse yesterday, which obviously I shared with you, and during the day yesterday I got incredibly hot, so I thought I'll wear a dress today, it'd be a bit cooler. The school is boiling. It is always really, really warm, and I don't know if it's me and my age or whether it is just the fact that it's a hot school and it's enclosed all the time and they've now got the heating on, and I'm like that, oh, it's a bit warm. And I run around a lot. I'm running around all day long, so I think sometimes I get really warm because I'm doing that. Anyway, I have got on today sorry, had to stop the video there for a minute because I could not remember the name of the pattern company and I didn't want to get it wrong again. So this is an AK Patterns pattern, and it is the Susie dress. Now, AK Patterns isn't running anymore. It was run a long time ago by this lovely lady. she's not UK based. I can't quite remember where she is now, but unfortunately she decided to close her pattern company down. So you can't actually get hold of this pattern anymore, which is such a shame because it is a really lovely dress. I was inspired by Amanda I Sew a Lot, who used to have a YouTube channel. In fact, she still has a YouTube channel. It's just that she hasn't brought any new videos out for a while, and she has an Instagram page. Do go and check her out and go and have a look at some of her old videos, because I find her very inspiring and I really liked her style. So she made this dress, and she actually made it out of this fabric as well, and I totally copied her. I don't know where I got this fabric from. It was a really long time ago, but I do know that I've also made a t-shirt out of this, which I absolutely love as well. So I'll stand up and show you. Now, it's quite dark now, the light isn't so bright now, so you can't really see so well. But it's a just below the knee dress. It has a faux wrap, which you probably won't see from there, but I don't know if you can see that. No, you're not going to be able to see it. I'll put a line drawing up on the screen, but there's like a seam that goes down here, and then if I pull that up, you can see there's like a split, which is, you know, it's static. That doesn't move. It doesn't actually come apart, but it's to give the illusion that this is a wrap dress, which I think in this patterned material you can't particularly see. It's got a seam around the waist. It has no darts or anything. It's just a basic sort of t-shirt sort of style on the top, and then it's just got this waist tie, which is not attached to anything. It's just tied around the waist for effect, really. But I absolutely love it. It's a really, really nice dress. It's very comfortable, and I've got a few compliments on it today, which was nice. And somebody said to me, "Oh, I really like that dress. Is it a Marks and Spencer's?" I was like, "No, I actually made it myself," which was quite nice to be able to say, because I get a bit embarrassed about saying. And I actually wore this today without, I didn't take a cardigan because, like I say, I get quite hot, but I did wear a jacket because I knew I had to go out and about. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. Out and about today, so I thought just in case it is a bit chilly outside, I've brought my Friday Pattern Company Ilford jacket, which I made using a Guthrie Garney kit, and I've made it out of this beautiful I don't know what colour you would call this. I want to say it's like a wine red, but it's a really lovely pinky reddy colour, and it's got this these contrasting facings on the cuffs, and I don't think it's on the collar. Oh no, it is on the collar. And I also bound all of the seams with bias binding, which I think gives it a really nice effect. It's just, they've just got poppers, so like these metal jeansy kind of poppers. I wouldn't ever really wear it done up. It's too boxy a style for me that I'd wear it like that. There's a variety of different pocket options that you can use. There's ones for the chest pockets, which I didn't use, or breast pockets, and these here, and then there's different styles that you can choose as well, and I just chose these ones. I quite like the jacket because I really like the colour. I'm sorry, it's not very bright in here today, so it might not look all that great, but I quite like the jacket because I like the colour, and I loved the look of it when I had seen other people make it. I just don't know if it's 100% me, but I thought I was going to give it a go today and wear it, and again, I actually got some compliments on it when I wore it, so you know, maybe I'm just being a bit silly, but I do like the idea of making some more coats. And when I was away, well, as you saw, I bought some coat patterns while I was away, so I am in the market for making some coats. When I was at work yesterday, and I know I did get a bit warm, but I wore my trousers, and it was quite nice to put my trousers on and feel quite comfortable and not worry about, you know, making sure my legs weren't hairy and all that kind of thing. And I just wore them with some flat shoes, which was really nice, and I like the idea of wearing them with some boots, but it has made me think I really want to make some more trousers. So again, that's something that I'd like to do. So I think I'm going to try and do a plans video at the end of this month, because I think it'd be nice to have a couple of things in mind that I'm going to make. So at the end of October, I'll try and do a plans video and plan what I'm going to make throughout November and December. So I won't put pressure on myself to do it in 1 month, but I'll try and make some things over the next couple of months. I feel quite sort of revved up after the weekend about making things again. It's just finding time slots to be able to do that, because it's been a busy month and it's been a busy time. Anyway, I've rambled on enough, haven't I? So I will speak to you all later, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Actually getting my hair done in the morning, so if I've got time, I'll do a quick video before I go. Don't think I'm brave enough to do a video when I'm in the hairdressers, but anyway, I'll speak to you later. Bye! Hiya, so it's Thursday morning and I've just got back from the gym. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning and I've had a PT session which was really great. I struggled so much to get out of bed this morning and thought, oh, why am I doing this? I just want to have a bit of a lie-in. I think I stayed up too late last night. But as the saying goes, you'll always regret not doing a workout, but you'll never regret once you've done a workout. I think that's how the saying goes. Anyway, it was very good and my PT pushed me very, very hard and I didn't enjoy it, but once I'd done it, I really loved it. So it's all a little bit back to front, isn't it? Anyway, I'm back now. John's gone to work and Ellen is still in bed. So I've made myself a nice cup of tea. I've had some breakfast. I'm just having a nice hot cup of tea and I'm going to get showered and dressed in a minute because I'm going to the hairdressers. I can't remember if I said last night or not, but I'm thinking of going a little bit lighter because I'm going a bit grey. And I'm kind of thinking maybe if I go a bit lighter, it might blend in and might not look so obvious because obviously I'm quite dark. I went a bit lighter the last time I had my hair done, but anyway, I'm waffling on about my hair. You don't need to know that, do you? So I'm going to the hairdressers. I'm going to come home after that and I'm going to get the house tidied up and cleared up because I feel like I haven't been home and sorted anything out for ages, so it needs a good old sort out and tidy up. I am then doing something really exciting this evening and I'm really looking forward to it, although I haven't done it for ages, so I'm a bit nervous about it. But I have a friend called Jamie and he actually works in our company as well. So my husband and I know him very well. He's really lovely and he has done some photos for me before for some of the dresses that I've made when I've done blog posts. I haven't done a blog post in ages and I'm doing one for Lizzie at Make 140 for a dress that I made for the Dressmakers ball. So I'm going to write a blog post for her and I'd like some really decent photos and he has said that he'll do them for me, so that's really great. I'm going to be talking all about the wonderful fabric that I used to make the dress, so keep an eye out for that blog post because it's absolutely gorgeous fabric, really different as well. So I will probably try and see if I can do a bit of footage while I'm there because it's always good fun, but I don't know, Jamie might be embarrassed, I don't know. He likes being behind the camera, not in front of the camera. Anyway, I'm going to sit and enjoy the rest of my cup of tea. Dogs are by my feet fast asleep. So there's not a lot of movement in this house at all at the moment. Anyway, I'll show you what I'm wearing when I get changed. Hiya. So I've been to the hairdressers. I didn't get a chance to video this morning to let you know what I was wearing, but I am not actually wearing a me made today, so sorry about that. I'm actually wearing a ready to wear dress. It's just a t-shirty dress. It's one of my favourites actually. I got it from Marks and Spencer's and it's a viscose jersey. It's really comfy, but I think it would be so easy to replicate. Just a basic t-shirt, fairly fitting kind of t-shirt, and then you know, a slightly wider A-line-y kind of skirt, and I think I would like to replicate it, so I will try and show you that at some point because yeah, definitely in the market for more of these dresses. They're so easy to wear and really, really comfortable. Anyway, I've had my hair done, really pleased. It's a little bit lighter, so I was going to go home and do lots of housework, but Ellen has messaged me and said can we meet up and have some lunch in town, so we're going to go and meet up, probably do a bit of a bimble around, and then I'll go home and do some housework. Anyway, I'll see you all later. Bye. Hiya, so it's Thursday night. Oh, a bit low, aren't I? It's Thursday night and I'm just ready now for Jamie to come and pick me up to go and do these photos. And I've just popped on my Sew Over It Lola coat, which is a coat that is in one of their ebooks. It's a really oversized, no fastenings coat. I quite like it, it's really nice. But I've got it on over my Vogue ball dress that I made. Oh gosh, ball dress that I made. And at the moment I've got it on with my trainers because we're going to be walking from the car to the studio and I don't want it to, yeah, I don't want my feet to be uncomfortable. So I've got my high heels in my bag. So I will show you a little bit of the photo shoot when we're doing it. I say photo shoot, it sounds really elaborate. It's really not like that at all. Jamie's just a mate. It's not like some, you know, doing my own makeup and hair and everything and we'll have a right laugh. But I love this dress. It's It's really, really nice. I love the fact that I can twirl around in it, but I will obviously put some proper photos up, and you will have seen a few photos from the ball the other day as well. Anyway, I just thought I'd also share that I have had my tea because, or my evening meal, because I'm not going to be getting home until about 10 o'clock tonight. I have also washed this fabric, and I don't know whether it's shrunk, although I did pre-wash it before I made it. I don't know whether it's shrunk or whether it's just the fact that I've had my tea, but it's a bit tight, a little bit tighter than the last time I wore it too. Anyway, that was quite funny. I thought I'd share that with you, but I'm like, oh, I need to breathe in. Did I show you? I can't remember if I showed you a second ago. This dress has got pockets. It's one of the coolest things about this dress. I love it. But it's in this gorgeous fabric that I got from Lizzie at Make 140. You won't be able to see it there, but I'll put some pictures up on the screen up close. But it's got a lovely little gold sparkle through it. And I love the fact that the underside, because it's got a dipped hem, has got this reverse of the fabric. Anyway, I will put photos in and maybe a bit of video of us doing the photos. Bye. Hiya, so I'm back from doing the photos with Jamie, and all I can say is that was an awful lot of fun. It's always such a giggle. I always get there and I always feel really embarrassed as I think, oh, who am I to go and do something like that? But Jamie has been building his photography business for quite some time, and he takes some incredible photos and does lots of things, and he's been trying to build the types of photos that he does, and he wants to work with people and know how to direct them and what have you. And because we're friends and he knows both myself and my husband really well, he feels like he can boss me around and he won't be embarrassed by it when he's with somebody new that he doesn't know. He's then got the experience of like how to do that, and I feel quite nice because obviously it's a great opportunity for me to get some really nice photos of some of the things that I've made, and it's with a friend, so I don't feel quite so embarrassed about having it done. I think that's how I feel. Anyway, that's my kind of theory behind it. So he kind of scratches my back so I can scratch his. So I help him out with, you know, him practicing photography on me, and I get some nice pictures out of it for my me maids, which is great. But yeah, I'll put the link into his photography business below so you can have a little look as well on his Instagram page, because he is fab. And apart from that, he's also a genuinely really nice bloke. He does lots of photography for some of the sports occasions that John has organised in the past as well, and he's just lovely. He's just really nice, and he makes you feel at ease, so it's great. And we were having a real giggle. I will try and put some of the footage up of when we did the photo shoot. I did record a little bit, and I will have tried to put some of that in. YouTube sometimes doesn't let music that's playing on in the background come on if it's, you know, music that's been, you know, got license or what have you like that. So I might have to just, you know, do it sped up and put like some background music on it, because the guy in the studio said, oh, what music do you want on? And I just said, oh, can we have some 80s classics? So showing my age. So we just with some 80s classics on, we were singing to a bit of Grease and, you know, all sorts of things. It was really funny. So I've come home, I haven't taken my makeup off yet. I need to go and wash that off in a second. But I've just made a cup of tea, another cup of tea. So I'm going to go and sit and have a cup of tea with John, and I might have something to eat actually. It's a bit late, but I'm a little bit peckish. And I have taken my dress off, which was a bit tight, and I've put on my pyjamas, and I know you've seen these before. So although I was wearing not a me made today, I've kind of ended up wearing a few me mades throughout the day because of how the day's panned out. But I am wearing my pyjama set, which is made from the Grainline Studio Linden sweatshirt and the True Bias Hudson pants. And I've made it out of this fabric from Truro Fabrics, and I then bought some ribbing. I don't know where I got the ribbing from. I might have got it from Minerva, I'm not quite sure, but I just wanted to pick up one of the colours from these really fun sort of clouds, and I just picked up this this sort of turquoisey blue, which I think worked really well. So I'll stand up and show you. So the sweatshirt is a raglan top, so really easy to make, super quick. It's a really nice one to do. You can make it in a jumper with a much thicker fabric, but as you can see, this is just a cotton jersey, so it's really thin, perfect for wearing to bed because it keeps you warm but not too hot. Then the Hudson pants, I've got the ribbing at the top with thick elastic underneath it, the ribbing on the pocket, and it's got nice pockets, and then obviously the ribbing on the foot at the bottom. I do want to make a pair of these as actual jogging bottoms because I think they're such a nice sort of jogging bottom shape, but I've only ever made them as pyjamas, which I don't really know why I do that. So I'll turn around and show you what it all looks like. But yeah, I love this set. This is the only set that I've made where I've made like a jumper. The other sets that I've made a vest top, and they are really nice, and they're quite nice for the summer. But actually, this is the only one I've got like this in the winter. I've got other pyjamas that are like, you know, ready to wear ones, but I think I might make myself another pair of pyjamas like this with the long, you know, sleeved sweatshirt type style top. They're not exactly the sexiest nightwear at all, but who needs sexy? It's cold and you want to be warm and you want to be snuggly and you definitely want to be comfy, so that's what I've gone for, and I think I've won. Anyway, that is totally it from me today. I will see you tomorrow. I've got a day off tomorrow. Say I've got a day off, I'm going to do a little bit of work, but I'm going to do it from home, and I am going to get my housework done because I didn't end up doing the housework today. Like I said, I went in town with Ellen. So I will speak to you and see you tomorrow. Bye. Hello, so we've got to the end of the week. It is Friday and I've spent the day at home. I've done lots and lots of housework. I've had about 300 loads of washing done. I've cleaned the kitchen up, I've hoovered, I've done everything. And I've eaten lots of chocolate actually. I don't quite know why I've done that as well, and I don't know why I'm confessing that to you, but I have. Anyway, I haven't shared anything through the day today, so I'm just going to very quickly show you what I've got on today. It is yet again another repeat. I'm so sorry, but like I say, I can't keep coming up with new things, and I haven't done a huge amount of sewing recently, so it's gonna come though. It's gonna come. I'm gonna do a plan, and I have so many things that I want to make, so I'm gonna be on one of those things where I'm going, oh, I want to make everything and I don't know what to make and how do I condense it down. So yeah, so it's going to be a fun time trying to figure out what I'm going to sew. But anyway, on with what I'm wearing. I am wearing a Tilling the Buttons Cocoa. Now, this was the very first one that I made. I made it in a t-shirt jersey, cotton jersey that I bought from, what's it called? John Lewis in Cambridge. I really like this grey fabric. I'm not an animal print person. Sorry, Rowan. I'm not an animal print person, but I really like this. I think I want to say it was Tamlin from Sew on the Time. She had made a very pale grey or very plain, and it was possibly grey or very, very similar dress, similar to this. It might have even been a cocoa, I'm not quite sure. And I really loved what she'd made. So when I saw this fabric in the shop, I was like, I really like that. And actually, I quite enjoy wearing it. I have also made a top out of this. a roll neck Tilly the Buttons Freya top, which is like a little roll neck top with shorter sleeves, and weirdly I really don't like it. In fact, so much so I've taken it to a charity shop. So yeah, really odd. Go figure. I have no idea. So I'll show you this dress. It's quite short, but I've been quite hot today because I've been running around doing lots of things, and quite frankly I wanted to put something on that I didn't have to iron. So it's a very simple little shape. I quite like it. What else have I done today? So I'm actually going away on the weekend, going away tomorrow again. I know that sounds awful. It sounds like I'm moaning about going away. I'm very privileged that I have had the opportunity to go away a few times, and I'm going away this weekend as well. I don't go away a huge amount, but it just so happens it's been like 3 weekends on the trot. So it's been really crazy busy, and I'm so desperate for a weekend at home, if I'm honest with you. But it is 2 of my loveliest friends. It's their 50th birthday in November, and there's a whole group of girls of us going away tomorrow just for one night, and we're going for a spa day. None of us are having any treatments or anything. We're just going to use the facilities, and it's really near to the coastline, so we're going to go away and probably have a bit of a sea swim. We'll probably go for a coastal walk, that kind of thing. So although I'm not going to share my day with you tomorrow because this is it, this is the end of the week, what I might do is I might, whilst I've been talking, pop a few images in or little bits of snippets of video to show the coastline, because I know some of you really like to see where I live or where I've been, so I will do that for you. So that is it. I am, oh, and sorry, just to say, so what I've been doing today, I have done a little bit of work, obviously the housework, and I've packed for tomorrow, obviously quite lightly because it's only one night, and I've done my legs and, you know, my armpits and all that kind of thing, and I'm going to go and do my nails in a little bit. But other than that, I'm going to go off in a moment, and I'm going to record a little section for the weekend that I had away with Helen, which I was hoping to insert earlier in the week, so I'm going to go and do that now. So other than that, that is my week. So I hope you have all really enjoyed the video and sharing my 1 week me made October. Sorry about the craziness of it and the all over the place of it. I think I'm a bit out of practice, if I'm honest with you. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you there. Have a really good week, and I'll speak to you all again soon.